welcome back and thanks for joining me. This is Jonna with Purple Girl Crafts. Today, I'm going to share this treat box that I made. We're going to craft along together. Now, this is made out of clear plastic. This is from Barely Art. I will put that in the comments in the link on the video. I did draw the characters, and then I used some of the pre-cut flowers that I already had. The base and the top are just made out of cardstock. And then for the ribbon, I used the P-Touch Embellish label maker. That works really good when you want to add just a little bit of message onto ribbon. It's really fun to use. All right, so let's just get started. So we're going to need our scoreboard. And our first two pieces, now I did use white cardstock on the back because this is very thin paper. You're going to cut these both. You want to do at 4.5, and the second one you want to do just a little bit bigger. So this one's a little bit bigger, and then this one is 4.5, but just a smidget over. Then you're going to take your score tool, and we're going to score this at 1 inch all the way around on both sides. No other measurements are required. So those two pieces are done for now. We'll set those aside. Next, we are going to work on the plastic. Now, I know this is very hard to see. I'm going to lift my board up so you can see. This has got two pieces of plastic on the side of the plastic to help keep it clean. So it's going to be hard to see. So you're not going to be able to see how I'm scoring it, but I'll give you the measurements. So this piece is 10.5 by 7. You're going to turn that back on the 10.5 inch side, and we're going to score this at 2.5. Now I am using a scoring tool that has the ball on it, and it's a small and a big one, and I'm doing it twice. I'm doing the small one and then the bigger one, just to make sure I've got that deep crease and that it does score it, because the plastic is very hard to score. And then at 5 inches, 7.5, and 10. Oops, my paper moved. So I'm just going to go from the bottom and then just work my way back up the other side. And then just score it one more time. All right, so again, I know you can't see it, but so those are your 4 score lines that you're going to put on this piece. So we're done with our scoreboards. So we're going to move that out of the way. And then we're just going to fold down those lines. So you just want to fold it where you did your scoring and then crease that out. You really want to push that line out so that it does hold its shape. We'll do all of these. Next, I'm taking that top piece off. So I'm just going to clear it just a little bit. I don't want to take it all the way off because I want to keep this plastic as clean as possible while I'm working on it. And then I'm going to take it off on the other side. We're going to use our double-sided tape. So just let me get this started. I'm going to lay this down, and we're just going to put tape on that flap. Again, making sure that that plastic stays off of there. And I'm just going to put it right on the inside flap. I'm going against the left side of it just so that it will hold when it's closed. And then you want to cut that off, make sure you don't have any extra. And then take your bone folder and just go ahead and just make sure that tape is all the way secure. Now for the next side, we're going to do the inside. We're going to remove the plastic. So let me get my poker. I'm just going to start this. It's very hard to start. And again, I'm just going to pull it off just a little bit because this underside will be attached to that top side. So just like that. All right, so I'm going to take this red piece or the tape off. And I'm just going to do it just a little bit of the way, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up. This is very hard to work with. Did you see my little smiley face tattoo? It's just a temporary one. So I'm just lining it up. My tape fell. And then making sure that it's on there straight. And then once you have it on there, go ahead and just secure it down. And then pull that tape the rest of the way. Just like that. And now what you want to do again is, because you've been working with it, go ahead and just crease out those score marks again. And making sure that tape is secured down on that last side. And as you can see there, you've got your little shape started. Again, I'm not going to pull the plastic off until I'm ready to, because I want to make sure that it stays clean. All right, so next we're going to do the bottom pieces. Now we've got the two pieces. You've got one that's a little bit smaller and one that's a little bit bigger. So the piece that you cut at exactly 4.5, that is a piece that we're going to cut those corners off on all 4 sides. So you just want to cut where those 2 score lines meet, because this piece is going to get attached to the bottom of the little container, so it doesn't need to come off and it can be secured down. And it'll just be a cleaner finish. All right, so there's that one. And again, that will be for the bottom. And then for the top, what we're going to do is we're going to cut one side. Now, if you want to, you can fold this first, just so you really can see your score lines. You can do it either way, before or after, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to crease those out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut just on one side. You're going to cut right on that line. And then cut just a little bit on the left hand or the outer side of it. So again, on the line and then off to the side on the outside. This way you've got just a little bit of room to make sure that it's fully straight when you put it in. There's no extra piece sticking out. Okay, so we're done with that. And we'll work on the lid first. So we're just going to glue this together. So you're just going to glue these down. I am going to use just my quick dry glue. And this is the Beacon 3-in-1 glue. Just want to make sure those are lined up, and then just go ahead and just crease it out. Stick it together. And we'll do all 4 sides of this piece. And then the last 2. And this time I'm just going to put glue on both of them. And then we'll just secure that down. The reason why I did just that little bit of piece over it, because it will actually help to fit on the lid and be not too secure, but be enough where it can be removed. Right now for the bottom piece, go ahead and just crease out those score lines. And this will fit on the bottom, but this is going to get attached to this container. So you want to take the plastic off just on the outside. I'm just going to take it off just a little bit on the bottom. Again, trying to make sure that I keep it clean on all sides. You can see how much clearer it is now that the pieces are gone. So it looks just so much nicer. All right, so we're going to put tape on the bottom of here. Now you can use either the red tape, white tape. I wouldn't use glue because glue has a tendency to move and it doesn't stick as well as the tape does. So I'm going to just quickly do this, put it on all 4 sides. Now, the easiest way to do this, you can do it any way you want, but the easiest way I found to do it was to make sure these are all secure first. Then you want to take your piece and you're going to just lay it up against the side of the one that you're going to pull it off. You can stick it down and make sure it's lined up and then push it up, but whichever works best for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to pull them off. I'm going to completely pull them off. I'm going to take the piece. I'm going to lay it down so it's lined up edge to edge, and then lined up with a piece, and then just secure it down. And then I'll work my way around. I'm just gonna make sure that the tape is secure. And as you slowly go around it, you'll see that it'll fit nicely and all sides will line up perfectly. And you only want to do one side at a time just so that you're not getting stuck on it or it moves and it doesn't fit properly. So again, I'm just going to line it up so it's right on that edge and then slowly just lay it down. I'm going to grab my ruler and just help to secure that down. And then we'll just continue on the last two sides until we have it finished. So I'm just slowly working it and making sure it's lined up. Again, if you have a bone folder or something, you want to make sure that you can secure that tape. And then the last piece, I'm going to leave this one up in the air. I'm going to grab my ruler. Just going to use my ruler just to line up that base piece so it's lined up right with the fold of the bottom, and then just close it on itself. Just like that. And now you've got the piece that's secure to the bottom. It's not going anywhere, and it'll be secure and be perfect to hold all your little treats. Okay, now that we are done, I'm going to remove the inside plastic because we're not going to do anything else on the inside. And we're going to work on the tape. Now, this tape is about 24 inches long. You'll just have to measure it and see how long you want it before you cut it. I'm going to put a pop dot on the very bottom. So let me just grab those. And this is just a sticky dot. I'm going to put it right in the center on the bottom. And then I'm going to pull that off. I can get it off. And then I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm just going to lay it right down in the center. And I folded it just so I could see where the center point is, so I have it exactly lined up. Now I'm going to take off the top piece so we don't need that plastic on there anymore. And you can see how much clearer it is. It looks so much better. Let's get something on the inside. All right, and I'm just going to throw some grass in here just so you can see, and a little cute little egg that I had laying here. We'll put the lid on. And then you just want to tie it. Now, I tied mine in just a very quick, easy knot. So I just tie it like you're going to tie your shoes and then just knotted it. Now, you can twist your ribbon if you want to make the words come up with the top, but mine, I didn't do that on this one. So it's just very loosely, so it will come off really easy. And then we'll work on the embellishments. You can go ahead and, like I'm doing here, you can trim off your ends of your ribbon if you want, or you can leave them straight. You can put them at an angle. There's just so many different ways you can do it. So we'll cut this other side. So that looks good. So this is what we have so far. So now we're going to work on the embellishments. So I have my little chick, and he's going to sit at the bottom. And then I have a bunch of flowers that I had pre-cut. I just keep them on hand. I'm going to put these all around. And again, like I had stated before, I like to put everything down first and then make sure that I like it before I glue it down. So I used a pop dot on or a sticky dot on my little ducky. So I make sure his feet aren't over there. So when it stands up, it's not hitting his foot. And then we'll do the flowers. Now for the flowers, I think I'm just going to use glue. And we'll just lay these down. And I'm going to glue the flowers to the flower, so that way I don't have any glue on the plastic. I'm just trying to see which ones I want to use. Now, if you do go over the edge, you can cut the bottom of them off on the bottom of this if you go over the edge of the bottom. And we'll put some just green leaves in there. Put a couple more leaves. I made another one a couple of days ago just to test this out, and I used flowers that were a little bit smaller, and they didn't look as good because they were just too small to see on it. All right, so that looks good. Like I said, you can cut off the bottom flower just so that it stands up nice. And then on the very top, I'm just going to do some more flowers. This time I'm going to make them kind of cascade down. And by gluing them to each other, they will stick to the lid. So let me just show you. So they'll stick to the lid, but they'll also be able to be showcased on the piece. So I'm just going to continue with just a couple more flowers on here. Now I'm taking this brown piece of paper. I'm just sticking it under there. This is just a piece of extra cardstock I have laying here, just so I don't get glue on that plastic. And then we'll just put just a couple more on. All right, so I'm going to tie this again. If you want, you can put more embellishments around the back of it. I think I'll put a couple flowers just on the back. And again, just cut those off. And then I'll put one more flower up on the top with just a couple leaves. And there you have a wonderful tree holder that would be good to give to an office worker or your grandkids or your kids or somebody special in your life. So I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And until next time, happy crafting. See you real soon. Bye-bye.